Okay, it looks like we're good to go now. So, hello to those of you who are just joining us, and thank you for tuning in today. Welcome to IDX Broker's webinar on the top 5 support resources you can use to get the most out of your IDX Broker account. My name is Ben, and I am here with Alec.
Good morning, everybody.
And he's going to be our chat moderator today. So, without further ado, let's get started. So here's an overview of the agenda for today, with the purpose being to give you access to the tools that will make your IDX broker pages stand out even more. This is the IDX Academy page where you can go to learn the basics of getting your IDX broker account started. So say I'm just starting out and I want to basically just get my IDX feed up and running. So I would navigate to the For Beginners section. I would click that. And then on this page, it will lead to a number of different options to get me started. So if I scroll down, I can see the webinars section where we've saved a number of webinars intended for beginner audiences. So I can click through those. And if I want to explore that a little further, I can click into this. Here's a list of all the different webinars that we've recorded, and this one will probably be included among those ones as well. Our webinars tend to be about 30 minutes long, so these are great if you really want to dive into a particular topic. But let's go back for a second. What if you have things pretty well figured out on your site and you just need a link to like a quick how-to video? You would scroll down and go to the quick tips section and explore the videos that we have available there. We have videos from both YouTube and Vimeo, and they're typically like quick little 3 or 4 minute videos just to get you up and running. We'll touch some more on those throughout the webinar, but for now I want to show you the best part of the Learn website, which is the courses section. So if I go here, I will see a number of different courses which we have made with the intent of teaching our clients how to use our service. So let's say I just click into getting started with IDX Broker. So here we have it mapped out, starting with the Getting Started guide. I'll just click into there. As you can see, we have linked a YouTube video up at the top, which you can, if you prefer to just get it through video, you can watch it that way. But we've also mapped out a script and a step-by-step instruction of all the different features that we have to get you started with your IDX Broker account. So you can either read or watch at your own discretion. And then once you're finished with this page, you just hit the arrow and then move on to the next one. This one is specifically about featured IDs and how to get that function up and running on your IDX account. So you can go through these courses at your own pace. And if you want to keep track of your progress, you can also register on our site by clicking the register button, and then you can sign up, and then this will keep track of your course progress so you can kind of pick up where you left off. So this is a really strong resource that I would recommend to people that are just getting started with their IDX Broker account. This will give you a nice overview of a lot of the features that will allow you to get the most site hits and use our service to the biggest potential. The next resource I wanted to share is our IDX Broker knowledge base, which is at support.idxbroker.com. So while the IDX Academy page is a great resource for those who are just getting started, sometimes you just need to figure out why a particular feature is not working with the rest of your website. So if I go to our knowledge base, you can scroll through the page and explore the different support articles that we have organized by topic. So, we have a lot of general options there, a lot of articles on customization, one specifically about WordPress, etc., etc. So if you don't see what you're looking for off of that, you can also go to the search bar at the top and type any term and into the top, and based on what you put in there, it will automatically begin to populate with existing articles related to what you put in the search bar. A common question that people have with us is the notion of saved links and what those are and how those are effective for your IDX service. So let's say I type in saved links, and you can already see that a number of articles that have to do with saved links are already popping up here. So let's just say I'm interested in just creating a saved link. So here this leads you to an article that we have basically giving you a step-by-step procedure of how to set up a saved link and why it's useful for your website. Essentially, a saved link can be built around specific criteria that you choose. So a lot of people use this, they make a custom search around a particular neighborhood. So they want to feature a number of neighborhood listings. So that's what a lot of people use the saved link function as. So yeah, I would just come to the knowledge base here and then follow step by step and get that set up. And we also have linked at the bottom tutorial on how to set up a saved link as well. So yeah, again, if you want to just see a video and go through it step by step, that's also available for you as well. If all else fails and you're still having trouble making our product work with your website, you can always scroll to the bottom of any page in our knowledge base and click the Contact Us button. So this will lead to a form which you can fill out to send an email with your issue to the support team, where we can work with you to address the issue that you're having and follow up as necessary. So that's always available to you as well. The third resource that I would like to go over today is our blog that we've called The Feed. So here you'll find articles written firsthand by several members of our staff. We've got pictures of down here, so these are our staff members that have contributed to that. And with the intent of keeping everyone up to date on new developments as they come about. So for instance, if we take a look here at the front page, our most recent article has to do with our full integration with Zapier's workflow automation software, which enables you essentially to connect your IDX feeds to over 40 different CRM applications, such as Salesforce or Follow Up Boss, BombBomb, and other ones as well. So this was a feature that was in high demand, and we're excited to have it up and running now. So we made a blog post to the feed here to basically showcase that. And within it, you can also see that it goes over what Zapier is and how does it work. And it also includes a link to our knowledge base in order to get that set up and running. So if that's something that interests you, it's a brand new development, and we're excited to have it up and running now. So let's go back now, though. And you can also search through our older posts that we have made to our blog and to read any of the other articles or webinars that we have archived. So you can go to the top of the navigation bar and search by topic. So you can go news, technology, or you can even click the search icon and start typing in keywords up at the top in order to get that situated there. So those are a few of the support resources that we have to offer. And then it seems like, yeah, a lot of people are also interested in making changes to the look of your IDX pages. So that is a feature that's in high demand. Unfortunately, with our support service, we don't offer much assistance in terms of custom CSS development, but we do have a lot of developer partners that we work hand in hand with that are really good at customizing the website to make it look just like either your website, or they can go into more detail about customizations that you would like to make to your websites. And that's easily accessible if you're interested in that by going to our IDX Broker page, and then you can go to developers in order to find a developer partner that will work with you in order to get your site looking the way that you would like it. One of the last resources that I will talk about is a really great free resource about how to kind of play around with custom development and CSS as well. So stay tuned, that will be something that I will introduce as well. And it's a great tool to get started with HTML and CSS. So I hope that this will answer your question. But regardless, I wanted to also introduce the developers page in case that was something that didn't interest you as well. So
on that page, can you actually show us how a search, and we have a specific question about developers that are not necessarily for WordPress. So I know there's a section in there for that. So can you do a search for that?
Yeah, sure.
So just do platforms.
So we go to platforms here.
So obviously there are many of our developers do use WordPress because we have the WordPress plugin and it's just easy, but there's also custom hosting and Joomla, and there are many of our developers that do sites that are not on WordPress. So if you're looking for some of them, you can do here. There are also some of our developers that will help you with an existing site. So you're welcome to call them as well. I know IDX Forge is one of those, and you're always welcome to call them. So yes, we are WordPress heavy, and that's simply because it's easier that way because we have that plugin. But there are many developers out there that do not use WordPress, and that will help you out with the site that's not built off that platform.
Yeah, that's a good question.
But yeah, if you have an issue with a developer, please let us know. We have many, many developers, thousands of them. And so if there is one that's really unresponsive, we will cancel them and try to move you over. We've done that with one recently that nobody heard from them and we hadn't heard from them. So we went ahead and offered to move all of those clients over to somebody else that was more responsive. So if you have any issues, please let us know. You can email us or call us up and we'll give you to our developer partner manager. And they'll be able to find you a better partner and then deal with issues that you have with your current partner.
Okay, very good. So those were some great points that were brought up by the chat, and yeah, that was a very interesting poll that we had there. So I'm going to move on and show you a lot of our other resources that are available at your discretion there. So the fourth resource that I would really recommend people checking out would be a lot of our social media outlets. So we've gone over a number of different support resources to utilize your account to its full potential, but we've also made strides to be very active on social media. So taking a look at our Twitter feed, for example, so if you subscribe to our Twitter channel, you'll stay up to date on the new features that you can integrate with your IDX account. So you'll also get notifications about webinars that are coming up. That's the one that we're part of now. And then again, yeah, here's the Zapier integration, and this will lead back to the blog page that I had just showed you earlier. So yeah, Twitter is a very powerful resource that we're taking advantage of, and if you want to stay up to date on your IDX account, I would highly recommend subscribing to our Twitter feed in order to do that. We've also got a very active Facebook page that will keep you informed about our features and different events that are going on in the local area. If you see on the side here, we also have integrated a feature where you can schedule a demonstration of our IDX platform. So although webinars and articles and emails can be helpful to give you answers, sometimes you just want to walk through with one of our support staff and see it just as it's going on there. So this is where you could go in order to schedule a demonstration. That's something that we have integrated with our Facebook account there. And you could also take a look around and see the different events that we have going on. So you can see that coming up we have a tech tour in the local Eugene area. That's where we're based, and so we're really in touch with the tech community in the city of Eugene. So that's an upcoming event that we have there. And also, if you just want to access our tutorial videos or webinars, anything IDX related, you can also go to YouTube in order to just check out all the different videos that we have at our disposal. So I'm just here on our YouTube page, and you can see that we've created some playlists here, videos that we've liked, people that are using our IDX broker and then doing cool stuff with it there. We've also organized them into 2-minute tip videos, webinars, and then specifically a channel for WordPress help. So that would be another very strong resource that you could have at your disposal there. So the last resource I want to bring up has to do again with that web development question and our developers there. So it's a resource called w3schools.com. And this is a website that really helped me out in my knowledge of web development as well. So it's a free-to-use website that's intended for introducing people to new new to custom development, to coding languages such as HTML and CSS, JavaScript, and so on. So since we market ourselves as the most customizable IDX service, we don't do much in terms of we don't offer much support in terms of web development, besides the referencing to the developer partners there that we talked about earlier. As a matter of fact, if you take a look at this website, I can just see how they have it organized by learning some CSS. So this is oftentimes what a lot of developers will do in order to change the look of a particular website. So I click on the CSS tab at the top and then just start exploring. One of the things that W3 Schools prides itself on is a focus on easy, simple explanations of key concepts. So you can start off with the introductions here, just basically looking over here, and say I click on CSS introduction. This will give you a overview of what CSS actually stands for, what it is, how it affects the look of your website, and so on. And then you can go from there to actual hands-on tutorials on how to implement that. So that's one of the best parts about W3 Schools. It's the try it yourself editor that they have featured on their pages. So say I just want to change, I'm interested in changing the colors on my website. So I'd go to colors here and then look through here. And let's just try clicking into this color here. So this is, you would click try it yourself, and then this allows you to test out what you've learned from W3 Schools in order to see what works for you and what doesn't before you make changes to your website. So if I dive into the editor, I notice that on the left-hand side is all of the code. So we have HTML here, and then these parts are the actual CSS that's making the changes. That's changing the text color of these sentences here. And I can look over on the right-hand side and see the result of those scripts and what they're actually doing. So if we take a look here, let's just play around with it and see what we can have come up there. So that's another really strong thing, is you can just come in here and mess around with the CSS in order to see what works and what doesn't. So they have that one set to color tomato. Let's try and set that to gray. See what that does. And then if you hit the run button at the top, it changes the text over to gray. So you can see that there. And then let's say hello world. We can change that to, let's say, IDX Broker webinar, for example. And you can see that when you hit run, that changes that. And then they have a lot of these hands-on tutorials that have you testing out a lot of the things that you're learning on the website. So let's say I'm playing around with the colors and I just want to see if they have dark gray, for example. So we run that. So you see it doesn't come back as dark gray, it actually goes to black. And this is an indication that this color doesn't exist in some custom CSS development. So you can keep playing around, see what works, what doesn't work. And yeah, that's a very strong tool for those of you who are interested and want to get your feet wet in terms of HTML and CSS and custom web development there. So I would highly recommend checking that out. It's totally free, and it's helped me out a lot with my own development as well.
So we have a question about changing the CSS or the HTML itself. So within IDX Broker, can you kind of show us how that works?
Yeah, absolutely. We've enabled that so that's a really easy feature to do that. So
I know in our older version, it would show you all of the existing CSS. But we simplified that quite a bit in the new version, so it might just look blank. But can you show us just a little bit how to?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just logging into my demo IDX Broker account here. Should be good there. So yeah, if you're just sitting at your dashboard and you're logged into your IDX Broker account, we've made it really easy for you to make custom CSS changes. You would go to Designs and Custom CSS. And then at this page, you can go in and make the custom CSS modifications by, identifying specific features on your website that aren't looking the way you want them to. So you can inspect a certain element and then change the width, change the color, and then this would be the place that you would go in order to make those custom changes. We also have them broken up into different segments. So right now it's automatically set to global custom CSS, which means that the CSS that you put into this space will apply to all of your pages. But say, you don't want them on all of your pages. So I could further break it down into categories, so you can edit the CSS for your search pages or your map search pages, and you can break that down even further, so you can do it with your individual pages broken up into their categories, or even the saved links that you have created. You can customize the look of them there. And any modifications that you make, just be sure to hit the Save Changes button at the bottom. And then you can check your web pages and make sure that that CSS is actually coming through. So we do have that option available. So you can, if you say want to just change a couple things up on your page, we've made it really easy to customize it however you would like.
Can you show us just one example, just like inspect one thing and just throw it in there just to kind of show people?
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing too in-depth, but just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So if I go to one of my pages here, and let's go to advanced search. So let's take a look at, say, this bar here, right? It looks like it's set to blue. So maybe I don't like the color blue showing up there. So what I would do is I would pull up my inspector here.
And what did you push to get that?
That would be the F12 key. So on any, like on Chrome or on Firefox, you can hit that button, and then that will bring up over on this side all the HTML and JavaScript that is actually rendering on your web page. So then from there, I would click this button up at the top to inspect an element on the page. So if I wanted to change this bar specifically, I would hover my bar over it, click that. Class.
There it is.
There we go. Yep. We're able to hunt that one down there. So we just got to copy that line of code there. IDX Broker standard. And then we'll set that to background color red. And then refresh the page. And there we go. So after a little trial and error, you can find the right tag that we have down here in the inspector, and then you can make those custom CSS changes however you would like. So yeah, it's a really powerful tool, and it's totally available at your discretion. I would really recommend pairing that with going to either W3 Schools to learn some more about the different things that you can use CSS for, and it's a really powerful tool to have at your disposal. Those are the 5 different resources that I believe are the best tools we have at your disposal when you're working with your IDX Broker account. So we're now going to use the rest of our time to address any questions you may have about them.
Someone wants an example of a subheader.
Sure thing. So again, going back into the IDX panel there, we have a section under Designs and Subheaders. So this is also another place that you can go to insert custom page content as well. If you want to include that, say you want to put in some HTML or some specific things there, you would turn the WYSIWYG controller off there and then insert the text into this section here. So this is oftentimes where we go in, and if somebody has set up what's called a dynamic wrapper, we basically use that link in order to copy exactly the look and feel of that website in particular. But if you want to make further customization options to that page, you would go into the subheaders and make those changes there. So this is a good place to go if you want to make further customization options to those pages. Well, thank you all for attending. So if you want to check out future webinars, you can go to www.idxbroker.com/IDX_webinar. And for any additional questions or follow-up, you can also email us at help@idxbroker.com, and we're always happy to help you out. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Have a great day, guys.